I'm hearing echo. Okay, awesome. Now I can hear, I can start. So today I will be talking about Mapillary and Rapid. Unfortunately, my colleague Chris couldn't make it today, so I took his session. So I will be talking about Mapillary and Rapid. And before talking about Mapillary and Rapid, I just would like to address why Meta use open data or OpenStreetMap, and how does it help Meta's product to basically display maps, and why we are working on maps. So Meta use open data to build our maps, and then work with communities and building tools to improve maps for everyone. So I'm part of open mapping community team at Meta, and apart from that, I'm long-time OSM contributor. I'm volunteer for like 10 years. I'm also one of the early community builder in OSM Turkey. And yeah, let's give a start. So maps at Meta. Why Meta use maps? Where are those maps displayed? So let's have a quick look. So if you go to like Facebook pages, you will see like a little screen that where we are using maps. And if you go to Instagram, you have story map. Also, our team is taking care of developing and improving this map. At the moment, like Android use fully Meta developed maps, also relies on OpenStreetMap data and other data sources. And also, if you go to recommendations or marketplace, you will see we are displaying a base map. Especially like some countries like Brazil, Indonesia, and UK, you can also see Meta maps on WhatsApp Business. Meta also takes care of like Mapillary, Rapid, and daylight distribution. So we are committed to build tools for open mapping community, as well as improving like open map data. So today we will be talking about like Mapillary and Rapid. Hopefully for another time we can also get into more details what is daylight. So let's start with Mapillary. Mapillary is a street level imagery platform that scales and automates mapping. What does it really mean? Let's go a little bit back to what is the traditional way of generating map data. So map data is time consuming when it comes to like collection. So there are like total station, GPS surveying, and then other mobile mapping solution. So Mapillary brings a novel approach to map data generation, to generate map data from street level imagery by extracting street furniture, traffic signs, and some other map features using computer vision and machine learning technologies. So at the moment, we have 1.8 billion images on the platform across the world. And we have a contributor of network, including like communities, partners, governmental bodies. So they are contributing to Mapillary in the form of image. So we are performing object detection and then 3D reconstruction on those images, and we are generating 3D model of from those images and extracting map data. And you can use any camera and anywhere and contribute to Mapillary. So you can use your smartphone. We also support action cameras, dash cam, as well as you can use also like professional rigs to contribute Mapillary. So once you collect data, you can upload your data to Mapillary with like different uploading tools. So we have uploading tools on the smartphone, like Mapillary app. You can search it on your Play Store or App Store. And then we have more advanced uploading tools like Mapillary tools, where you can run uploading commands on command line. Then we have also desktop uploader, which is which has a nice user interface where you can just drag and drop images to the app, which will be eventually uploaded to Mapillary and process. So how does it happen? So imagery comes in, and then map data comes out. So we are using like computer vision to identify each of the object on the image, and then locate those objects in the 3D world. So there is nice animation to show how does it happen. So this model is generated from really high-dense street-level imagery and drone imagery. So we are identifying each of the object on the world, and then identifying their geodetic coordinates, including like latitude, longitude, and ellipsoidal height, and then we are extracting their location in the real world, and then extracting this data in GeoJSON format. So this data is fully available on OpenStreetMap, also Mapillary GeoSM plugin on GeoSM, as well as you can visit mapillary.com/app to extract this map data. So this is IED integration. So all the generated map data is available on OSM IED editor. So this helps also like to validate Mapillary's detection. So as you can see here that so there is a bench detected on Mapillary data, and then you can also point this map data on the image and see and verify before adding to OSM. So here you can see all the available data which is generated by Mapillary. So those map features may be interesting for use cases. So like we have done project with Sierra Leone community to map out all the street lights by using Mapillary as well as Rapid. So all the street lights were detected by Mapillary, added to OSM with Rapid. So we detect fire hydrants, utility poles, trash cans, shop signs. Shop signs especially might be really useful for mapping POIs. We have done some project with OSM Turkey community to detect shop signs and then keep maintaining POI data in Istanbul. All right, let's check it out how we are doing in Tanzania. So apparently, like from this overview, we need really more imagery in in Tanzania for Mapillary. So we have active communities in some of the island nations, but overall, Tanzania unfortunately is not well covered. So let's look at a bit closer. So we have 360 coverage in main axis in Zanzibar and Pemba Island. So we have active community member there. Federico was contributing 360 imagery in those islands. Those are like pretty good quality data. And then let me give you like quick overview of this data. So they are like 11K resolution, 360 imagery, and then all this data is also available on OpenStreetMap, IED editor, Rapid editor, as well as GeoSM. So if you want to check it out, improve like map data on OSM, you can rely on this imagery. Yeah, this is all about Mapillary. So if you want to contribute to Mapillary, you can just install Mapillary app on iOS and Android from mapillary.com/mobile apps, and then you can keep capturing by walking, cycling, and then while you're driving, also you can use 360 camera to contribute Mapillary. I believe like for each conferences we are bringing like some mounts or some like swags. So let's stay in touch if you need like mounts or some other like swags from Mapillary, so we can get organized. Cool. So now we already talk about Mapillary. So this is a street level imagery platform which extract map data to improve open map data. And now we will talk about like Rapid. I'm pretty sure like you heard about Rapid. So Rapid is an editor, enables like mappers to map faster, smarter with the support from AI and open data. So those are like really important highlights: faster, smarter, AI, open data. So we will address each of the highlights. So before starting, like, what is Rapid? Rapid is a OSM editing tool, which helps you to map all the map objects quicker, faster with the AI assistant. So basically, we got all the global satellite imagery and extract road network from those satellite imagery, and we conflate road network with the OSM data, and then we basically show user missing road network in the area. Also, we help the user to basically draw a geometry, and then those are like predicted roads, and then we ask mappers to validate and then add this data to OSM. So apart from like road network, we have also other data sets such as like Microsoft buildings, Google buildings, which are already conflated. So mappers need to only go and validate those data without tracing like building footprint on the satellite imagery. So if you enable like Facebook roads, you will see Facebook predicted roads after like conflated with OSM data. And then you can also enable like Microsoft data. Also, you can add another additional like data set to Rapid. So this was part of like AI. So how AI helps speeding up like mapping. And then also with open data, you can bring like some other external data sources. So as you can see here, we are addressing like how we can map smarter and faster. All of those building traces are already like pre-edited. So like they're already there. What you need to do is just only go and verify. And then if there are any like map issues, you can basically draw it yourself, or you can just say like ignore this feature. We have also like shortcuts hotkeys for like adding this feature, and also we are making sure that like we don't really harm the data by just having a bulk editing. So there is a limit of like making edits with this tool, and then you need to basically submit your changes frequently. Cool. So now we are moving to how you can bring open data to Rapid. So, and in that aspect, we are collaborating with Esri. So Esri has open data platform, which can ingest open map data with ArcGIS Open Data Hub, and then thanks to like this collaboration, so we can enable already like added data to ArcGIS Open Data Hub on Rapid. So here you can see like some of the building data sets. We have also like some, even like you can add point data to Rapid with this integration, and then you can contribute to OSM. What you need to do is just only verify each of those points and then add to map. We already discussed that we have different data sources. We have Microsoft imagery, Google Open Buildings layer, and then you can see like distribution of buildings in Africa. And this is the distribution of Microsoft building data. It's like 850 million building with ODBL license, so which is ready to go to OpenStreetMap. And this is the all the listed ArcGIS data sets available on the wiki. So if you have any open data sets, or if you know any governmental data sets which may go to Rapid, so I strongly recommend you to check out this wiki page, and then you can also reach me out to follow up how we can help you to bring your open data to Rapid. And from Rapid, you can easily validate and then upload, basically like ingest your open data to OSM directly without like dealing with like all the conflation, because conflation will be already like taking care of the first place on the Rapid side. I think this is a pretty like powerful tool to basically bring like open data sets and then maintain unique data sets for the nation. Another link, so I will share this presentation link with you all, so you can basically check it out, all the links there, so you can see like all the open data sets which are shared by like some of the US governmental offices. And at the moment we are working with hot Latin America hub to bring like Ecuador's open official data set to Rapid. So this is a very exciting project. And then hopefully, like if there be like any lead from Africa, we are also happy to chat to bring like more open data in Africa as well. So please keep in mind, like if you hear about like any open data sets from any governmental office, we can chat further. Yeah, as I mentioned that everyone can bring data to Rapid, just it needs to be like compatible with OSM, and it needs to be like conflated. So you bring basically your data and then prepare it for OSM to make sure that you have right geometries can go to OSM, and then you upload to ArcGIS, Open Data Hub, and then with the open data integration on Rapid, we can basically conflate and enable your data set on Rapid. So this is do-it-yourself open data integration. So this is one example in Round Rock, Texas. So they brought all the address points to Rapid. So there were no address point in this area. And then address data was open. And then we brought this data to Rapid. And then mappers just only need to go and then validate those address points and then contribute it. Meantime, so like there is also Mapillary imagery in this area where user also can basically like validate and verify address data if there is a building, if the entrance is there, etc. And yeah, so Mapillary imagery can be also used for like validating like each object on the ground without physically being there. So for instance, like I have no idea about like the area which I'm mapping, for instance, but if there is an imagery without being physically there, if the imagery is fresh, you can basically have a mapping experience without physically being there. You're not limited with satellite imagery. You have also like ground level understanding of the space, especially like where the areas where we have a 360 imagery, you have scene understanding of all the places which you are mapping. Yeah, so what is next? So we are working on bringing like more open data sets to Rapid. As I told you, like we have data sets heavily in US counties, and then we are working on diversifying like more open data to have a rapid integration. And we are strongly working with different communities and partners to bring more imagery to Mapillary to keep map data fresh, because if imagery is not fresh, and then it's eventually affect the data quality. So places has changed quite drastically, especially like after COVID. So fresh imagery helps a more updated map data. Therefore, we are working on like bringing more fresh imagery to Mapillary to make sure that community has a starting point to keep OSM updated. And then also we are working on how we can improve Mapillary data accuracy. So Mapillary is a crowdsource platform. Everyone can bring data there, right? So meantime, we need to make sure that the data quality is getting better and better with like certain data quality checks as well as some technological improvement. So I presented like data quality related talk at State of the Map last year. So if you're curious about what is the data quality of Mapillary generated map data, you can check it out. I think it's available on State of the Maps YouTube channel. We are working on Rapid 2.0, which has a better performance of loading map data, because when you're basically browsing any certain area, if the area has, I don't know, too much map data in there, so it takes long time to load, and then especially like if you are panning around, the performance wasn't really good. So we are working on like Rapid 2.0, which is flawless experience for like mapping faster and better. So it's already in beta, and then if you want to check it out, I can also send link after the conference. Right, and then we are also working on growing the community. If you have any ideas to basically like bring more open data to Rapid or contribute Mapillary, feel free to approach us, and then we can chat further. Before starting, I also want to share some links here. So we have Map with AI Rapid. So this is the link to Rapid, and then we have Facebook group on Rapid. If you are not there yet, just search Rapid Facebook group, and then if you want to create any issue or want to check Rapid's open source code, it's already on GitHub. And then you can also check mapillary.com/app. So this is like Mapillary app. And you can also follow us on Twitter with like Map with AI handle and then Mapillary handle. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any question, I'm more happy to chat further. I already shared this presentation on the presentation folder on Drive. So I believe like everyone can have access there. So in case, I can also share just one link. Do we have any question? Do we have time for a question?
Said, are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
So do you have time to take at least one or two questions?
Shall we use chat for the questions if there is echo? So maybe we can just type on the chat.
Okay.
All right. So if there is no question, so thanks for joining the conference. I really wish to be there in in person, but unfortunately that didn't happen this year. So I'm excited to catch up with the upcoming conference. Thanks, and have a nice conference. Enjoy. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.